doing a great job, is Paul. I thought that yesterday his performance was second to none.
Ryan Hansford, familiar name there, the son of the late, great Greg Hansford, having his first run in Mini Challenge. He's been doing some Gemini racing up here in Queensland, and he's on the second row of the grid.
His performance has been outstanding. His dad was a good friend of mine, and he certainly has got that jumped out of the right gene pool. He's doing a fantastic job.
Speaking of friends of us all, Glenn Seaton's behind the wheel of the Uberstar Celebrity Car this weekend. He'll start from 5th spot, but he's already been getting stuck into it. He and Grant Denyer got together in race 1 earlier in the weekend, and hence Grant's had a tough weekend, and he lines up way down the back in 15th.
Very unusual for Grant. Usually he's right at the front of this field, but as you said, he got caught up with Glenn. They were having a titanic little dice there, and ended up down one of these escape roads.
Now, the Mini Challenge cars, of course, it's a one-mate category. Everyone's got the same horse to ride, but there are some drivers who are carrying success ballast. This is one of them, Nathan Karate, carrying an extra 35 kilograms.
And how crazy is that overhead shot of him?
You get giddy looking at that all the time. Cars on the warm-up lap. Getting into the zone. There's Grant Denyer, the Deco Rug number 95 car. He's carrying the maximum ballast, 50 kilograms on board car 95. Beric Linton, a local, back behind the wheel this weekend.
And you see these guys warming the tyres up. They're doing two things. They're trying to get the heat into the tyres, but they're also trying to get all the sidewall and all the inners of the tyre all nice and warm, so they'll work properly the minute that the light turns green.
Of course, these cars have nowhere near the power. And look at this dude. Have a look at this. The shades are on.
What they used to call him, the baby-faced assassin.
Yeah, yep.
Mike Raymond.
Exactly.
He's pretty serious there about it.
He loves the open-faced helmet. Tried the closed face, and it just didn't work. He just didn't rate it.
Well, guys, one driver who isn't on the grid for race 3 today is John Martin. He sustained a sprained wrist after yesterday's incident, and it's been a tough couple of weeks for the young Australian driver. He was scheduled to race for Team Australia in the A1GP this weekend, but when that went through, he decided to get in a Mini Challenge car, and that didn't end well either. So, unfortunately, DNS for John Martin today.
Okay, thanks, Bridie. Bridie, you can send him pit lane with us for this one. Paul Stokel and Chris Alajarjan on the front row. There's the view of the Gold Coast Highway, the resurfaced section of this circuit. The run to the first chicane should be strong. You can see there on the SP Tools for Kids chopper shot that the new pit lane looks fantastic. Stokel and Alajarjan, Hansford and Scott Bargwanna. Been a good day for the Bargwannas around the place. Glenn Seaton, he's on row 3. Look for Nathan Karate. He's been fast over the course of the last few rounds. And Grant Denyer is starting way down the back. Look for the little man to get the elbows out and get rocking around the streets of Surfers Paradise. And you can see there on the front row, they weren't right up against the grid boxes, but it's an even run down to the first chicane. Alajarjan has his nose just in front. He's trying to squeeze across. This is Karate going down the outside on Seaton.
And there is absolutely nothing between these guys. See Glenn cut over the chicane there. One of the great things about this racing is they've pulled the tyres away that they have for the V8 supercars, so there is a little bit of room to move.
Alajarjan leading the way, Stokel in second. Then it's young Ryan Hansford.
And Alajarjan didn't get the jump at the start. It's almost like Stokel might have missed a gear or something. He jumped initially, either there he got a bit of wheel spin, and then things changed around.
Well, you've got to remember too that Stokel's got to carry an extra 40 kilograms away from the start line with that success ballast, so that does make it a little bit tougher. This is the run back alongside the beach. What a shot. No one on the beach today. Everybody's at the racetrack.
Where they should be.
Down the chicane, Alajarjan, Stokel in really, really deep there. And look, the boys just throwing the things off the curbs. And cutting the curbs too. They've managed to get Brendan Cook in car 43 back onto the road after an all-nighter last night at the Motorline Mini Garage.
And look how much curb they're taking. They certainly shortcut that chicane there.
This is round 6 of the Mini Challenge. 2 rounds to go at Barbagallo, where we'll go back to the 2-driver format, which should be quite interesting. And then we'll decide the champion as a support to the Sydney Telstra 500. But at the moment, Alajarjan clearing away in race 3. Here's Beric Linton in the Crimsafe Mini. new drivers to this category this weekend.
And speaking of Glen Seton, they're a great little car to drive. They're nicely balanced. They don't have a huge amount of torque steer. Oh, someone a little close to the wall there.
But you talk to all of these guys, when they step in, the first thing that they say is, wow, how good are the brakes on these things? Alajajan leading, 1.2 seconds the margin, back to Stokel.
And look how close that wall is when he comes by.
Seton hasn't raced here for 4 years, actually, since he was last a full-time driver in V8 supercars with Dick Johnson Racing.
It's hard to believe that it's been that long.
Yeah, 4 years has gone already. Two-time V8 supercar champ. Listen how late it goes.
And another interesting thing watching the race cam is the circuit when you're driving the car certainly feels a lot bumpier and a lot rougher than it looks like. And look at these cars unbalancing, lifting up inside wheels. Fantastic camera angle here.
Alajajan holding on to the lead. Stokel second and not getting away from young Ryan Hansford. Scott Bargwanna tucked up in behind in the Rock Energy Drinks car. And that team this weekend have expanded. They've added... Oh, that was tight. They've added a young Victorian, Sean Carter, into their second car. They're still running BJ Cook, but in an arrangement really with the Stillwell Motorsport team. So effectively a three-man lineup, and Scott is pushing hard in this championship, trying to catch up to Stokel and Denyer. But these cars, they're able to just nick across the curbs and steal a lot of racetrack.
Well, they do, but they're so nicely balanced. They're not jumping around badly. They're not doing anything too much. A bit tricky to get them balanced because they drive and steer from the front.
Let's have a look at a replay cutting through.
And I'd say...
You'd say?
I'd say that that's not a lot of paint left on the side of that car. Isn't this a great angle? And we're looking at the air duct pointing into the brake here.
This is with Beric Linton, who sits 7th.
And watch how much his disc, well, glows when they jump hard on the brakes.
Pulls another gear. Wait for the stop. Here it comes.
Amazing. That is an amazing bit of footage. You see how hot the brakes get. You see the sparks coming off it. It's chewing through the brake caliper material. Fantastic shot.
But you could hear there how good these cars brake. He wasn't on the brake for that long because he was so far into the corner as well. If you compared that shot to a V8 supercar, the driver would have been on the brake a bit earlier and for a bit longer.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the rundown to turn 3. Let's have a look again. And don't forget, these cars are front-wheel drive as well, so the front wheels are doing pretty much all of the work. So Chris Alajajan leads the way. It's race 3 of Mini Challenge. The championship leader, Paul Stokel, is doing a great job. He's certainly got his eye on the prize in season 2009.